Good afternoon or good evening, football fans. Big Al here on this Monday, November 3rd, 2025, and welcome to the latest college football rankings entering week 11 of the 2025 college football season. Today, we'll be taking a look at the latest Associated Press Top 25 poll and the latest AFCA Coaches Poll going into week number 11. And also, the college football playoff rankings, their first rankings of the season, will drop tomorrow night. So I'll probably be on late tomorrow night or early on Wednesday morning to give you those rankings. So make sure you join me for that. For now, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell and get notified every time I go live. And here we go with the Week 11 Associated Press Top 25 College Football Poll. And we'll start with the first 7 teams unchanged, as the Ohio State Buckeyes remain at number 1. 8-0 record, 1,633 points, and 54 first place votes. Last week, they blew out Penn State 38-14, and they've got another easy test coming up at Purdue. Staying at number 2 are the Indiana Hoosiers. 9-0 record, 1,591 points, and 11 first-place votes. They smashed Maryland 55-10, and they'll get their turn at Penn State this week in Happy Valley. No change at number 3 with the Texas A&M Aggies. 8-0 record, 1,523 points, and 1 first-place vote. They were off last week. They're back at it at Missouri, and I'll tell you where the Tigers rank shortly. Also no change for the Alabama Crimson, tied at number 4. 7-1 record, 1,447 points. They were also off in week 10. They're back at it, hosting LSU. The Georgia Bulldogs remain at number 5, 7-1 record, 1,364 points. They defeated Florida 24-20 last week in Jacksonville, and this week they're heading to Starkville to play Mississippi State. No change for the Oregon Ducks, holding steady at number 6, 7-1 record, 1,293 points. They were off last week. This week they'll visit Iowa. And no change for the Ole Miss Running Rebels at number 7. 8-1 record, 1,263 points. They beat South Carolina easily, 30-14. Now they'll play a non-conference game at home against the Citadel. The first change in the poll comes at number 8 as the BYU Cougars move up 2 spots. 8-0 record, 1,207 points. The Cougars were off, but they're back at it against the next team we'll be talking about, the Texas Tech Red Raiders, who moved up 4 spots to number 9. 8-1 record, 1,091 points. They beat up Kansas State in Manhattan 43-20, and this week they'll host number 8 BYU down in Lubbock. Moving up 2 spots to number 10 are the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. 6-2 record, 1,071 points. They beat Boston College on the road 25-10. They'll return home this week to host Navy. Tied for the biggest jump in the AP poll, you have the Oklahoma Sooners, moving up 7 spots to number 11. 7-2 record, 850 points. They defeated Tennessee in Knoxville last week, 33-27, and the Sooners get a well-deserved week off. Moving up 3 spots to number 12, the Virginia Cavaliers. 8-1 record, 838 points. They are one of the hottest teams in college football right now. They continued their win streak with a 31-21 victory at Cal, and this week they're back home hosting Wake Forest. The Texas Longhorns are tied for the biggest jump in the AP poll, moving up 7 spots to number 13. 7-2 record, 835 points. They beat formerly 9th ranked Vanderbilt 34-31, and they are off this week. Moving up 2 spots to number 14 are the Louisville Cardinals. 7-1 record, 827 points. They outlasted Virginia Tech 28-16, and this week they will host the Cal Golden Bears. Falling 6 spots to number 15 are the aforementioned Virginia Commodores. 7-2 record, 698 points, of course losing in Austin to then 20th ranked Texas. 34-31 this week. They'll host Auburn, who's in the news this week after firing their head coach Hugh Freeze. All right, down 8 spots to number 16, and this is not the biggest drop of the week, and that's the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. 8-1 record, 667 points. They, of course, lost 48-36 at NC State, and the Jackets are off this week. The third team tied for the biggest jump in the AP poll this week are the Utah Utes, moving up 7 spots to number 17. 7-2 record, 560 points. They made easy work of then 17th ranked Cincinnati 45-14, and Utah is off this week. Dropping 8 spots to number 18 is the team that struggles in the month of November, and that's the Miami Hurricanes. 6-2 record, 558 points. They lost at SMU on Saturday, 28-20, and this week they'll host Syracuse in a get-right spot. No change at number 19 with the Missouri Tigers. 6-2 record, 491 points. They were off last week. They got a big test at home with number 3 Texas A&M coming to Columbia this week. Up 3 spots to number 20 are the USC Trojans. 6-2 record, 453 points. They defeated Nebraska 21-17. This week they'll host a very improved Northwestern team. No change with the Michigan Wolverines staying at number 21. 7-2 record, 344 points. They, of course, defeated Purdue 21-16, and they will be off this week. Up 3 spots to number 22 are the Memphis Tigers. 8-1 record, 224 points. They won in Houston, blowing out Rice 38-14, and this week they'll host Tulane. The biggest drop in the AP poll goes to the Tennessee Volunteers, tumbling 9 spots to number 23. 6-3 record, 171 points. They lost at home against Oklahoma 33-27, and the Vols will have an extra week to lick their wounds as they are off. Only one newcomer in the rankings, and that's the Washington Huskies at number 24. 6-2 record, 110 points. They were off last week. They're visiting Camp Randall in week 11 to face the Wisconsin Badgers. And falling 8 spots to number 25 are the Cincinnati Bearcats. 7-2 record, 77 points. Of course, they were blown out by Utah in Salt Lake 45-14, and they are off this week as well. All right, so the only team that dropped from the rankings this week were the Houston Cougars, previously at number 22. And that leads us to the others receiving votes category. You have the Iowa Hawkeyes, who nearly got in the rankings. They have 71 points. The James Madison Colonials with 53. The Pittsburgh Panthers with 35. The San Diego State Aztecs with 30. North Texas Mean Green 27. South Florida Bulls 23. SMU Mustangs 7. The aforementioned Houston Cougars with 6. Then you have the Illinois Fighting Illini, the LSU Tigers, and the Arizona State Sun Devils all getting 4 points. All right, so there's the AP poll for week 11. Now let's move on to the latest AFCA Coaches Poll entering week 11. And there is no change with the top 6 teams in the coaches poll, as Ohio State remains number 1. 8-0 record, 1,596 points, and 60 first place votes. Indiana is right behind them at number 2. 9-0 record, 1,525 points, and 1 first place vote. Number 3 is Texas A&M, 8-0 record, 1,479 points, and 3 first place votes. Then you've got Alabama at number 4, 7-1 record, 1,385 points. Next up, Georgia at number 5, 7-1 record, 1,335 points. And Oregon remains unchanged at number 6, 7-1 record, 1,284 points. The Ole Miss Running Rebels have the first movement in the coaches poll this week, moving up 1 spot to number 7. 8-1 record, 1,213 points. Up 2 spots to number 8 is BYU, 8-0 and 1,157 points. Moving up 4 spots to number 9 is Texas Tech, 8-1 record, 1,028 points. Notre Dame moves up a couple spots to number 10, 6-2 record, 992 points. At number 11, moving up 4 spots, is Virginia, 8-1 and 852 points. The next 2 teams are tied for the biggest jump in the coaches poll this week. Oklahoma is up 6 spots to number 12, 7-2 record with 806 points, while Texas also moves up 6 spots to number 13, 7-2 record, 788 points. Down 7 spots to 14 is Georgia Tech, 8-1 record, 740 points. Moving up 2 spots to number 15 is Louisville, 7-1 record, 734 points. Down 5 spots to number 16 is Vanderbilt, 7-2 record, 610 points. Jumping 3 spots to number 17 is Missouri, 6-2 record, 501 points. Miami has the biggest drop in the coaches poll this week, falling 9 spots to number 18. 6-2 record, 487 points. That's on the heels of that loss at SMU. Moving up 5 spots to 19 is Utah, 7-2 record, 476 points. Moving up 1 spot to number 20 is Michigan, 7-2 record, 468 points. USC returns to the coaches poll. They're at number 21, 6-2 record, 291 points. Tennessee took an 8-point drop down to number 22. 6-3 record, 243 points. And this pretty much puts a squash on Tennessee's chances at the college football playoff with that 3rd loss. Up 2 spots to number 23 is Memphis, 8-1 record, 242 points. Second newcomer this week is also from the Big Ten, the Iowa Hawkeyes at number 24. 6-2 record, 128 points. They were off last week, and this week they'll host 6th-ranked Oregon. And then also taking the biggest drop this week, down 9 spots to number 25, are the Cincinnati Bearcats. 7-2 record, 109 points. All right, Houston and Navy, previously 22nd and 23rd respectively, both fell from the rankings. Others receiving votes include Washington, who is ranked in the AP. They have 82 points in the coaches poll. North Texas has 60. James Madison 44. San Diego State 30. Pittsburgh 29. South Florida 21. Houston 18. Navy 16. TCU 12. Illinois 8. SMU 6. Arizona State 2. And then you have Tulane, Minnesota, and LSU, each with 1 point. All right, so those are the current college football rankings from the Associated Press and the AFCA Coaches Polls entering Week 11. And once again, the first college football playoff rankings of 2025 will be released tomorrow night at approximately 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And you can watch those on ESPN, or you can tune in later on Tuesday night or early on Wednesday, and I will give you those college football playoff rankings then. But for now, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell and get notified every time I go live. Big Al signing off. Thanks for watching and enjoy the pigskin. Peace out.